County Contracting, WI.com. Click on the Instant Roof Quote button, put in your address and email, click the Show My Roof Price, and there you go. Zero wait time. There's your quote. You shop online for everything else. Who says you can't shop online for a new roof? Tri-County Contracting at WI.com. It's worry-free roofing, siding, and windows. Tri-County Contracting, WI.com.
Okay, close your mouth and take a deep breath in through your nose. So the way it's supposed to be is that you should be able to breathe easily. You shouldn't feel constrained. What it should feel like is air briskly flowing freely through both nasal passages, day and night. And if not, there's a problem. And it's a don't know what your problem really was until you got it fixed kind of problem. You're living with it. I mean, you're tired a lot. It might give you headaches and sinus pressure, but you're living with it. Yeah, you sound like almost every patient we help until we get their problem fixed. And then you hear them saying, why would I put up with that? Advent will get you breathing freely again with simple in-office solutions like turbinate reduction along with balloon sinuplasty that really can change your life.
To date, Advent has solved over 40,000 breathing triangle problems. Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment because Advent knows. When you breathe well, you live better. AdventKnows.com. Results may vary.
Protect mom's assets. Protect your assets. Call Kraus Estate Planning, estateplanningpeople.com.
Tonight, the Bulls are on the Bucks' naughty list.
He's rejected by Giannis again. He is not done yet. Gary Trent Jr. stepping into a three on the other side as he buries it.
Our coverage of the game in Chicago begins tonight at 6 with Bucks Shoot Around. We are your home for the Milwaukee Bucks. News Radio 620 WTMJ Milwaukee.
It's 101 and 38 degrees in Milwaukee. A winter weather advisory begins at 2 p.m. this afternoon for Fond du Lac and Sheboygan counties. Goes until 8 tonight. Tonight, a mix of chance, a mix, yes. There's a chance for a mix. Mostly cloudy otherwise. We're going to dip down to 31. We have a high of 37 today. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, snowy roads are ahead for Packers fans. Storm Team 4 meteorologist Tyler Moore says while the winter weather advisory was canceled for most of southeastern Wisconsin, people traveling north need to be careful.
If you are heading up towards Lambeau for the game, you're probably going to run into some snow showers, maybe a little bit of a wintry mix, pretty much from Sheboygan all the way up for the rest of the way up to Green Bay.
Moore says snow showers are expected along I-43 until about 6 o'clock tonight. Your complete WTMJ 5-day forecasts coming up in just minutes here. The House Ethics Committee just released its report on former Republican Congressman Matt Gaetz. It outlined substantial evidence that he appears to have violated Florida's statutory rape law as well as misconduct, including alleged drug use. Former Pennsylvania Representative Charlie Dent reacts to the report and discusses the lingering questions left behind now.
So the question is, did the committee recommend a referral to the Florida Attorney General, for example, to further review the matter? Did they recommend an expulsion? I mean, the sanctioning here would have been interesting. I suspect that at the very least he would have been censured. But given the magnitude of what they're alleging against Matt Gaetz, there could have been, an expulsion.
Gaetz has filed a lawsuit in an effort to block this report's release. Arrested for harassing the sheriff in Vernon County, 51-year-old Jacob Sal of Lafarge was arrested December 19th after several days of harassing phone calls to the sheriff's office. Investigators say he also went to the communications center during a recent snowstorm, which disrupted operations. He was arrested, but is out on bond. A few reminders for Milwaukee City Services over the Christmas holiday. There will not be garbage and recycling pickup or drop-off tomorrow or on Christmas. There also won't be overnight parking enforcement Tuesday night into Wednesday morning or parking meter enforcement Wednesday. A lot of people saying yes to that, especially on Milwaukee's east side. But important to note, your vehicle, your car, your truck, your van, whatever, it still needs to be parked legally. Night parking enforcement resumes Thursday night into Friday morning. Time for news about your money. Here's a look at the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management market update. It was a mixed bag before, and it still is. The Dow is down just about 21 points to 42,819. S&P 500 is up 32 points to 5,962, and the NASDAQ is up 174 points to 19,746. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Sports, traffic, and weather are next. Sonia Limited, WTMJ News Time is 104.
Make holiday magic this year with something beautiful and timeless from Diamonds Direct. A stunning diamond pendant, a pair of classic diamond stud earrings, something new and eye-catching from a world-class designer. Or maybe you're looking for that perfect gemstone piece or a fabulous timepiece. At Diamonds Direct, we have hundreds of styles that are ready to be wrapped and put under the tree. No need to wait for shipping. Come and let our experts help you pick out that headliner gift. Or for some fabulous ideas before you head to the store, see the online seasonal gift guide now at DiamondsDirect.com. You can even chat now with a virtual assistant for the ultimate convenience. Whether you connect online or in person, you're guaranteed to get the extraordinary value, ironclad warranties, and white glove service Diamonds Direct is known for. And to help make your purchase even more affordable, we've got special financing so you can spread out your payments. Get directions, details, special showroom hours, and our holiday gift guide now at DiamondsDirect.com. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here. Better is around the corner in 2025. Feeling better. Getting rid of joint pain once and for all. QC Kinetics patients are able to walk up and down stairs, sleep without pain. Basically, they feel normal again. That can be you. The time is now. Take action to get the pain relief you deserve in 2025. Call QC Kinetics and say goodbye to the shoulder, the knee, or the back pain. QC Kinetics local medical professionals are waiting for you. Regenerative medicine means starting the new year without achy joints. No more pain pills, no steroid shots. The best part, no surgery. Call QC Kinetics today, 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474. Meet their local folks in Greenfield or their clinic in Mequon. I've been there. Great people looking to work with you. And the best part, you can use your FSA dollars. Live the best life in 2025. 414-285-3474. Call QC Kinetics today.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. The bright lights of primetime await the Packers and New Orleans Saints up at Lambeau Field tonight.
With the playoffs in view, Packers head coach Matt LaFleur is doing his best to not look ahead.
I'm worried about us continuing to get better.
The Packers currently occupy the number 6 position in the NFC playoff race.
Focusing on what's right in front of us by attacking our practices the right way and just building our habits. And it's all about how we improve throughout this process, and whatever happens, happens.
Green Bay has won 4 of its last 5 games. Greg Matzik, WTMJ News.
The Packers are 14-point favorites for tonight's game. Coverage begins with Green Bay game day at 4 o'clock. Also a programming note for you. The Packers game on Sunday, December 29th against the Vikings, that has been moved to a 3:25 kickoff. In basketball, the Milwaukee Bucks head to Chicago tonight for the first of 2 games against the Bulls this week. They'll head back to Chicago Saturday after taking on the Brooklyn Nets in a home game on Thursday night. Tip-off for tonight's game is at 7 o'clock. Coverage starts at 6 o'clock with Bucks shoot-around right here on WTMJ. Let's get you an update on the roads right now with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver traffic. We have a crash out in Waukesha County that is creating quite the slowdown. It's on I-94 West, just a little bit beyond the Moreland Road ramp, right over there by Brookfield Square, and I imagine some of you doing some last-minute shopping over there right now. There's a car that's off over in the side of the ditch, and there is quite the backup, a significant backup. It goes from Calhoun all the way to Sunny Slope Road, but once again, a crash, I-94 West near Moreland Road, creating quite the slowdown.
Traffic is brought to you by Rejuvenix, your non-surgical joint therapy experts.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life. Go to rejuvenix.com to request your appointment.
And here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast. A winter weather advisory begins at 2 o'clock this afternoon for Fond du Lac and Sheboygan counties. That advisory lasts until 8 tonight. Today, our high is 37. Tonight, we have a chance for that mix. It's always rough, a mix. And be careful. All those Packers fans headed up to Lambeau. It could definitely be tricky on the road, so give yourself a decent amount of time. Tomorrow, Christmas Eve, mostly cloudy, high of 36. Wednesday is Christmas. It's coming up so quickly on a Wednesday, right? Mostly cloudy, and some of you will see a little bit of drizzle on Wednesday for Christmas, high of 38. Thursday, slight chance for rain, cloudy otherwise, high of 43. Our temps after that just going to keep on going up. Friday, we have a high of 47, also a chance for rain. It's currently 37 degrees in Racine, 34 in Waukesha, and 38 here in downtown Milwaukee. I'm Jessica Ty, signing a limited WTMJ News Time is 1:09.
65,498 square miles. We've got a lot to cover, so let's get to it. This is Spanning the State, and here are your hosts, Kristen Bry and Brian Noonan.
Psych, it's just me. It's just Kristen today. Brian is still out all week. Bria and I are here doing our jobs. We're going to be here all week. We have a very fun show that we pre-recorded tomorrow that all three of us are very proud of a Christmas special. So once that is posted tomorrow, whether you have the chance to listen to it live when you're traveling to family's house or you want to download it as a podcast, you can always do that at WTMJ.com on the Spanning the State page or wherever you get your podcast. Just hit the subscribe button because then you can always listen to us every day, even if you're not free from 1 to 3. See, now that rhymes, unlike 20 and plenty. It's an inside joke. All right, well, happy Christmas Eve. Happy Festivus to the rest of us. More on that in a minute, but we have I'm really excited about today's show, considering it feels like if our office is any indication of most offices, there's a lot more people not working or fake working than that are actually doing their job today. It is a ghost town in the Good Karma Brands office today. I know my husband has been getting 0 replies back on any of his sales emails to end the year. So everyone's kind of in that do not disturb mode, but that's okay. We're here and we're doing great. So coming up at 1:35, if you are still looking for a place to donate before the end of the year, why not give the gift of a healthy smile to a child? So I have been part of Community Smiles Dental's Smile for the Season campaign, and we're going to be talking to Scott Marshall, who's here, who's the new CEO who took over this year, to talk about their campaign, how it's going, and what $55 can do for a kid when it comes to having a healthy smile. So that's coming up at 1:35. Then we're going to check in with my good pal, Steve Scafidi, who is en route to Green Bay for tonight's game. He does a lot. He does politics, he does culture, and he does Packers punditry. So we'll talk to him about his thoughts for the game, thoughts for ending this year, and that's coming up at the end of this hour. And then I'm really excited because, of course, we're going to spin the state like we always do. But at 2:15, I'm really looking forward to this conversation. So Institute for Reforming Government, which is a conservative think tank, I'm good friends with their CEO, CJ Safer. And one of the things my friendship with CJ that I really appreciate is we very much agree on outcomes. I think as far as improving our schools, like a lot of the goals for Wisconsin, I actually think we're on the same page. He is much more conservative than I am. I am certainly, I would say, depending on who you ask, center left to much more to the left of that. But we disagree sometimes on ways to get there. But I think what I value about our friendship is that we often agree on the outcomes that we all work towards. Well, a week after the election, Institute for Reforming Government, or IRG, held a civil conversation with urban Democrats and rural Republicans. It was 8 different Wisconsin residents who came together to have a civil conversation. And so 2 of the participants and CJ are going to be here at 2:15 to talk about what that conversation was, how it went, and what we can all learn from that going into, times that feel very, very, not that we're going into times, but as we continue to navigate times that feel very polarized. And then to end the show on a high note, if you are like me and you still don't know what you're getting your sibling for Christmas, this story may make you feel like even worse sibling, because we're going to talk to 2 sisters where one gave the other the gift of health by donating part of her liver, thus curing her sister's chronic disease. So I'm really looking forward to that conversation as far as what you can do when you really open your heart, and as far as helping your sibling, helping a family member, and donating quite literally a part of yourself. So, like I said, I'm really excited for today's show. Would love your participation, though, because it is indeed Festivus. Ria, you did not know what Festivus is, correct?
I sure didn't.
You've never, in all of your years, you've never heard Festivus on December 23rd before?
I think you guys actually might have mentioned it to me, like, in passing this year. And then I think I would have said, like, oh, it's like Galentine's Day for Valentine's Day, right?
I mean, it's a made-up holiday as far as it is like Galentine's Day in that way.
Okay.
But I would say the sentiment is very different. Than Galentine's Day is a time to celebrate your girlfriends, versus Festivus, which is a quirky secular holiday that started from Seinfeld. Which maybe you were not. You were in a Seinfeld family?
No.
Oh, my father has watched every single episode of Seinfeld. So thus, I think I have seen every episode of Seinfeld. But I think it was in the 1997, so close, either the last season or the second to last season of Seinfeld. And so season 9, and it's basically in the show. Do you know any of the characters?
I know the one guy with the bald spot from the
George?
Brandy Cinderella movie.
So Jason Alexander, who played
Yes.
George Costanza. Yep, okay. So George Costanza in this episode talks about the ridiculous anti-Christmas holiday his father, Frank, made up when he was a kid. So the holiday it's on December 23rd. It's a Christmas alternative for those fed up with consumerism, and it's associated obviously with Christmas in the show. So instead of a tree decked out in lights, there's an aluminum pole.
That's crazy to me.
Instead of a Christmas feast, there's an airing of grievances.
Oh my gosh.
During which you share a meal with family and tell them all the ways they disappointed you over the last year.
Would you do this with your family?
So funny story about that I'm going to share on the other side of this. That we did not do that, but there is a story that is very similar, that is real, both from the Seinfeld writer the origin story of Festivus is something that happened in his family. And then we have family friends who, not anything to do with Festivus, not anything to do with Seinfeld, had a very similar gift that they gave their family. So we'll get into both those stories after this, but I would love to hear from you. Do you have any grievances this year? Since it is the day of airing grievances, if you have grievances, text them in, call them in, 855-616-1620. But I'm going to probably, if you call in, I'm also going to ask you what you're grateful for. So you can do a little rose and thorn today. But we're going to do all of that after this on Spanning the State.
Creative Planning presents Rethink Your Money with John Hagenson, Saturday afternoon at 2. Join John each week as he challenges financial advice you've been given and reaffirms what you know to be true. If your financial plan doesn't include taxes, insurance, estate planning, and investing, it's incomplete and you can't afford to miss out. At Creative Planning, we provide all the expertise, all the advice you need, all in-house. To learn more, visit creativeplanning.com/radio.
This is Matt Meitner, owner of Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Do you find yourself talking to your dog but feel like she's not listening to you?
Bella, sit!
Are you constantly repeating yourself but she's not following your directions?
Sit! Sit!
Frustrating, isn't it? At Sit Means Sit Dog Training, we want to help you have a happy, confident, and obedient dog, and we also want to make the training process an enjoyable and worthwhile experience. Contact Sit Means Sit today to schedule a free consultation so we can create a customized training program so you are able to have the dog you want and deserve.
Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Sorry, we don't train husbands, wives, or kids.
Easttown Jewelers in Mequon is closing its doors after 40 years. Savings up to 70% on everything. They have a great selection of diamond rings and earrings, pendants, gold and silver jewelry, colored gemstone rings, and Mary's custom designs, and much more. Looking to get the perfect gift for someone special this holiday season? You've got to check them out. They also buy gold and you'll receive instant cash. Store hours are Monday through Sunday, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Doors will be closing December 28th, so don't delay. That's Easttown Jewelers in Mequon.
Woo! Hey, this is Ben Brust from Kyle Brust and Nortman on ESPN Wisconsin. People can't stop screaming about the Screamin' Sicilian frozen pizza, and no wonder. There's plenty to scream about, like the buttery stone-fired crust, secret recipe tomato sauce, mounds of whole milk mozzarella, and tons of premium toppings. Find Screamin' Sicilian in your local grocer's freezer and find out for yourself why Sport called Screamin' Sicilian's Holy Pepperoni frozen pizza the best of the best. Screamin' Sicilian. Taste what all the screamin' is about.
Here's the story of Dan O'Keefe, who in the 60s created Festivus with the airing of grievances and feats of strength. It's for the rest of us. Here's the story of Dance on Daniel, who was writing for the Seinfeld TV show.
Oh, wow. This is really telling the story.
He wrote Festivus
who did this?
into an episode,
I think
adding
from
an
Morning News,
aluminum
maybe?
pole.
From our morning news?
Then this one day when the show was on the
there
TV.
You go. Well, welcome back to Spanning the State. I'm Kristen Bry. Brian is out for this week, enjoying the holiday. Rhea and I are here holding down the fort, and it is Festivus today. It is December 23rd, and Seinfeld fans will remember this because it was a very funny episode. I think it was a very funny episode. But Festivus, which started as you could hear from the song, one of the writers, his name was Dan O'Keefe, and he, in his 20s, got a job writing for the show. And this literally Festivus comes from his family. But he was so ashamed about it at first because he's pretty honest that his dad, who was a writer for Reader's Digest, was undiagnosed bipolar and an alcoholic, and he just created this thing called Festivus. And it didn't necessarily have to do with Christmas. But according to lore, his father invented the holiday for the very same reasons echoed in the sitcom episode, which is to have a secular occasion to the void of consumerism that is often Christmas. And it was around, I guess, 1966 because it was the anniversary of his parents' first date. And it would happen whenever he wanted throughout the year. It wasn't just always on the 23rd. And so he ended up writing, Dan O'Keefe, the son, ended up writing a book, The Real Festivus, and he goes into a lot of the detail of what the origin story was and that it was much more peculiar than how it ended up being on the show. But there was no aluminum pole in real life. Obviously, we know there was an aluminum pole on the sitcom show. But there were feats of strength where his dad would make him and his brothers wrestle each other. And that he would also, I guess, his dad would hide a tape recorder in his coat and then trick his sons into venting about family members. And then he, on tape, so he could then air them later. And so, not surprisingly, when Dan O'Keefe got to the Seinfeld writing staff, he wasn't about to share this. It sounds like it was kind of traumatic, but his brothers were at a Seinfeld, I don't know, rap party, show, some kind of party. And his brothers started telling the producers of the show about Festivus. And of course, the comedic minds were like, this is amazing. You have to write about this. And Dan O'Keefe, in his first year on this writing staff of a show that at that point was getting 30 million people watching it per episode, was like, I'm not writing about this. So Jerry Seinfeld was pushing him to do it. And so I guess finally they said, either we're writing it or you're writing it. So this is happening whether you like it or not. So reluctantly, he wrote about it. And, 30 years later, people are still... They find humor in it. People still celebrate it. We're celebrating it today on the show. If you have any grievances, feel free to call in or text in 855-616-1620. But I will say, if you're going to have a grievance, I also want you to say what you're grateful for. So we have one from the 414. My number one grievance is that Trump got elected, and I'm grateful for my family, especially my husband. Then we have Jeff from Fox Point said, Kristen and Rhea, I wish you and your families a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Thank you for keeping me informed and entertained while I TCB. I don't know what that means. And during my drive to the Fox Valley right now. Thank you, Jeff. Then we got another 414. My Festivus grievance is with all the idiot, inconsiderate drivers I have to deal with. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you were dealing with inconsiderate drivers. But so yes, throughout today's show, if you have a grievance and something you're grateful for, text it in. I will read it on air. 855-616-1620. And so we're going to take another break, but I have a real life... It's not Festivus, but as I was preparing for today's show, I had a memory unlocked of what my former sister-in-law did with her family one year that is very similar to this, and it's pretty funny. So I will tell that story on the other side of this.
Throughout history, some people have been born into greatness because of their name or family. Others gained greatness because of their actions. On Wisconsin's Morning News, we celebrate everyday heroes, the John or Jane Doe who had no idea when they woke up one morning they'd be saving a life. Everyday Heroes, Thursday at 6:40 on Wisconsin's Morning News. Presented by Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living, transforming the culture of care.
This holiday season, give the gift of a smile with Community Smiles Dental, a nonprofit dental clinic helping kids on state insurance in southeastern Wisconsin get the compassionate care they deserve. For just $55, you can cover a child's dental exam and care, a small price for a healthy smile and a stronger community. Donate to the Smiles for the Season campaign, sponsored by First Business Bank at communitysmiles.org. Everyone deserves a healthy smile. Make your gift today at communitysmiles.org.
It's almost go time, Christmas shoppers. So if you're feeling the crunch, check out Fleet Farm for hot last-minute deals. Keep your feast tasty with a Nesco 18-quart roaster, now just $59.99. Keep your loved ones toasty with Milwaukee heated apparel and get a free battery pack with purchase. Speaking of cozy, get a portable buddy heater with fuel filter for only $69.99. Wrap up your holiday shopping now at Fleet Farm, home of the best prices, guaranteed.
If you've ever worried about your heart, if you've ever loved someone with heart disease, if you've ever wondered if you're the one at risk, let's remind ourselves that we are not powerless. Because at the Froedtert and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network, we're pushing to outsmart heart and vascular disease by working with you personally to understand your history, assess your risks, and guide you to heart strength. By digging deep with tireless research and offering access to leading-edge clinical trials. And for the most serious conditions, including heart failure, heart valve disease, arrhythmias, and vascular diseases, we provide renowned expertise and the most advanced life-saving procedures you expect from academic medicine. So let's get out in front of heart disease. Let's outsmart it. Let's keep pushing so that every one of us can outrun it and embrace every beautiful day life in Wisconsin has to offer. To learn more about our nationally renowned heart and vascular care, visit froedtert.com/heart.
I've always believed that great service makes all the difference. At Waterstone Bank, it's more than just banking. It's personal. When I needed help choosing an account, my banker took the time to understand my needs and guided me through my options. Thanks to her advice, I can watch my money grow, knowing it's secure.
Welcome to your Waterstone Bank, where community and personal service come together. Member FDIC.
I got problems with some of you people. Yes, Festivus, December 23rd. We got a text in from the 262, which I don't know if this is his official grievance, but it sounds like a grievance, so I'm still going to read it. So imagine that. You read a text that someone had a grievance that Trump was elected. I would guess you're not going to have a grievance instead. Biden was our president for the last 4 years, even though if there was a text like that, very biased. So there you go. I read it. There was no other grievances that said they were grieved about Biden. So anyways, I wanted to tell this one story about, it's not about Festivus, but as I was talking about this with people, I remembered that my former sister-in-law, so my brother's ex-wife, but we're still on all good terms. This is not a story to embarrass them. She and I are still friends and everything, but it was just, I think this story came out in one of the toasts at their wedding. So her parents are her dad's Belgian, her mom's Chinese, very productive, ambitious people that have a very, very, very successful in business. All 3 kids very successful. And one year we found out that when the kids were still in school. So I don't even think that any of them were in college yet. So they were somewhere between middle school and high school. They were remodeling the house. And so they couldn't do Christmas how they had always done Christmas with decorations and the giving of gifts and everything. And so unclear. I tried to text my brother to see if he could remember whose idea it was originally. But so they decided as a family that instead of giving gifts that year, they were going to give the gift of constructive criticism. and which sounds a little like, depending on how constructive you're being, like the airing of grievances a little bit about how your family upset you in the last year. But that was apparently, they went around in a circle and gave each family member their constructive criticism for that year. And I think my mom, who is the queen of Christmas, as far as woman buys so many gifts, goes all in, is Mrs. Claus to a T. I think she was like, it hurt her soul hearing that that's what they did one year for Christmas, especially because I don't think she always would ever want to be on the receiving end of constructive criticism if she could ever avoid it. And so that made me think of Festivus, but not inspired by the show, just genuine feeling like that was the best gift they could give each other, was the gift of improving and helping one another improve. And so I thought that was really funny. This is also the same family that they had a point system. So all the kids, different activities got you different points. So if you were playing video games, you lost points. If you did extracurricular activities, you gained points. And you needed a certain amount of points to go on the family vacation every summer. And you'd think that maybe was a veiled threat. Nope. The youngest brother one year did not have enough points, and he could not go on the vacation. All right. ABC News and local headlines are next.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. President Biden commuted the death sentences of nearly all the federal inmates on death row. 37 will now serve life without the possibility of parole.
President-elect Trump has been very clear that he does support the use of the death penalty. He has vowed to expand capital punishment for drug dealers, for human traffickers. In the statement that the White House released, President Biden did say explicitly, in good conscience, I cannot stand back and let a new administration resume executions that I halted. So this was a bit of an effort to get out in front of President-elect Trump.
ABC's Elizabeth Scholze. 3 remain on federal death row, including the Boston Marathon bomber and 2 mass shooters. In Madison, Wisconsin today, a memorial service for teacher Aaron West, killed in last week's shooting at Abundant Life Christian School. The funeral for the second victim, a 14-year-old student, was held a few days ago. And weather cooperating so far as millions of Americans fly and drive this holiday season. This is ABC News.
Saudi Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 1:31. I'm Jessica Ty. Well, you just heard a little bit about this. It was an emotional day in the Madison area. Final goodbyes today to the teacher who was killed in last week's school shooting in Madison. 42-year-old Erin West was a teacher at Abundant Life Christian School for 4 years. Her funeral just wrapped up at Doxa Church in Madison. We took a live look in during Wisconsin's Midday News. It was packed. You heard beautiful singing and a lot of people just sharing some special memories about her. West was a member of that church. She was killed 1 week ago today when a student at the school, 15-year-old Natalie Rupnow, brought 2 guns inside and used one of them to start shooting. Rupnow also killed 14-year-old Ruby Vergara. Vergara was laid to rest on Saturday. A man accused of murder and hiding a corpse in Waukesha pleads not guilty. 62-year-old Kevin Leishwick is charged in the death of 56-year-old Carlos Maldonado. Maldonado went missing in April. His remains were found in October, wrapped in a tarp near Frame Park. Maldonado died of gunshot wounds. And a triple shooting at an after-hours club leaves 3 people hurt on Milwaukee's north side. Shooting happened Saturday near Townsend and Holton. A 16-year-old was shot in the side, a 49-year-old shot multiple times, and a 29-year-old also hurt. None of the injuries are life-threatening. Milwaukee police are now looking into the licensing status of the club. No one is in custody. Time for news about your money. Here's a look at the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Mixed bag on Wall Street on this Monday before Christmas. I'm calling it the Merry Monday. Not so much for the Dow, though, I suppose. Dow was down nearly 26 points to 42,814. S&P 500 and NASDAQ are looking good, though. S&P 500 up 34 points to 5,964. NASDAQ up 186 points to 19,758. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Let's get you an update on the roads with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons paving time saver traffic. We're actually looking good with this update. The crash that was over by Brookfield Square, that has cleared. I did notice, though, there's a little bit of slowing out on Blue Mound Road over there by the original Pancake House and Portillo's. You have a lot of people who are doing some last-minute Christmas shopping, but no accidents reported there. We do have a disabled vehicle that's just a little bit down from that disabled vehicle on the exit to Blue Mound Road from I-94 East, but that's it. Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast. A winter weather advisory begins at 2 o'clock this afternoon for Fond du Lac and Sheboygan counties. That's going to go until 8 o'clock tonight. The big thing to take note of when it comes to the weather today is this chance for a wintry mix. The mix never good on the roads, especially for all those Packers fans who are heading up to Lambeau tonight for the big game. We have a high of 37 today, and we'll dip down to 31 tonight. Tomorrow, Christmas Eve, mostly cloudy, high of 36. Then Wednesday for Christmas, mostly cloudy, and some of you will see drizzle. Hopefully that doesn't impact Santa. High of 38 on Wednesday. Thursday, slight chance for rain, 43. Friday, we're going up with our temperatures, almost hitting 50. Chance for rain on Friday as well. It's currently 37 degrees in Racine, 34 in Waukesha, and 38 here in downtown Milwaukee. I'm Jessica Ty. Saudi Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 1:34.
This change has leveled us up while being able to maintain the same quality of service that we've always provided, with no upfront fees and 1.9% real estate commission. We're proud to be part of the Century 21 family, so you can move fearlessly with the added confidence of top-of-the-line marketing for maximum home exposure. And that means more eyeballs and the real potential for the highest price for your home. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated. First off, our 1.9% commission structure helps get their foot in the door, and that's why agents like working here. But what they really like is having the strongest marketing tools available, with the resources to help them sell homes at the highest prices to satisfy their clients. Century 21 Benefit Realty offers what agents like most, and that's to help them be successful. If you really want to believe in the business model that you're representing, give me a call. I'm Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty. Call me, and let's talk about your future. Each office is independently owned and operated.
Hey, this is WTMJ's Steve Scavini for Heiser Automotive. I love talking about Heiser. Just picked up a 2023 pre-owned Chevy Silverado 1500 LT, beautiful glacier blue. Here's what I love about Heiser. All the great programs. Safe and Sound program. Vehicle exchange program. Valid on new or pre-owned vehicles, which is what I was talking about. Purchase or lease for the comfort of your own home. Roadside assistance for life. All the things you love about Heiser is all the reasons why they say every day and why I always tell people at Heiser, today's your day.
From my family and myself, I would like to say thank you to Gruber Law Offices for taking such good care of us.
I would say thank you because you were so human and so much of a friend during the whole process.
I'm super grateful for them representing me and doing all that they did for me.
I would just say thank you for making me feel better.
That's why I'm here, to say thank you, thank you, thank you.
Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Welcome back to Spanning the State. I am Kristen Bry. Brian Noonan is out for the holidays, but the holiday is almost here. And today, Scott Marshall, I don't know if you know this. Do you know that it is Festivus?
Today is Festivus?
Today is Festivus.
Do I get to air my grievances?
That is the question. Do you have any grievances to air?
I can't during the holiday season. I just have to project positivity.
Perfect. All right. Well, Scott Marshall is the new CEO of Community Smiles Dental, which we had you guys on earlier this year for our Giving Tuesday segment. But also, I am part of their Smiles for the Season campaign, which is their holiday campaign to raise money to be able to provide more dental health care for kids who are on Badger Care, because so many dentists don't take Badger Care, right, Scott?
Yeah. Before I worked at Community Smiles Dental, I didn't really understand dental health care. I bet a lot of listeners probably don't think too hard about it because they just go where their insurance tells them that they can go. And what I've learned is that folks who rely on Badger Care, Medicaid, they don't have the options that, say, you or I have, Kristen. And I'd imagine that a parent calling a dental office and being told, I'm sorry, I don't take your insurance. I'm sorry, I don't take your insurance. And you're thinking, oh, my gosh, my kid is 5. My kid is 6. My kid needs to see the dentist. That it is a wasteland. Like, you really have a hard time being able to figure out what to do. And so that's what Community Smiles Dental does. We fill that gap for those kids.
Because what happens... I mean, I think sometimes there's that assumption as a parent that you're like, well, they lose these teeth anyways, right? Like I have, obviously Frankie's 15 months and we're trying to get her used to brushing her teeth. I don't know how effective it is, but
it doesn't get easier.
She chews on the brush. Yeah.
Yeah.
But, is there the assumption sometimes of parents who don't know any better, including whether that's you're on Badger Care or not, well, they lose these teeth anyways. It's not that big of a deal if they don't see a dentist, if they have some cavities. Is that sometimes how parents come into you guys?
Yeah, I mean, they say that kids don't come with a handbook,
Yes.
right? And so we're all just trying to learn, whether it's on, parent groups on Facebook or listening to a pediatrician. And so you're just trying to figure it out. And you might think to yourself, yeah, they're just going to lose the tooth. So what are you going to do about it? But, the pain, the possibility of infection, just teaching kids that taking care of your teeth is something that you need to do on a daily basis. That's part of what going to a dental clinic is about.
Yeah. And so Community Smiles Dental, explain to us how it works again. So it's basically you have a dentistry office right now in Waukesha, and it basically provides free or discounted, or how does the service actually end up working?
Yeah, so we have dental clinics all across the city and the state. And it's funny, when you start working at a dental clinic, all you see is dental clinics. There are so many dental clinics out there. And so for folks who have to rely on Medicaid or Badger Care, we fill a gap that the private practice dental clinics can't do because we get reimbursed by Medicaid. And the reimbursement is a lot less than the cost of the services we provide, which means a nonprofit has to be the one who takes up that mission to be able to provide that service. And so Medicaid paying back 30% of what we're able to cover 40% means that we have to fundraise to make up the difference for the care that we provide for those kids. And so a parent calls, they set up an appointment at either our Waukesha or a Menominee Falls location. They come in, they get a cleaning, they get a checkup. Hopefully not, but they might get a little drill and fill, get a cavity taken care of. And then we see them again in 6 months. And really, it's just their dental home.
Yeah, absolutely. And so how is the campaign going, if I can ask? I haven't gotten an update yet as far as how much money's been raised, how close you guys are to your goal.
Well, I will say that the videos that star you, Kristen, seem to be what's getting a lot of likes, a lot of shares. And so thank you so much for lending your smile to Smiles for the Season, sponsored by First Business Bank. And it's going really, really well. For a long time, we've kind of thought of ourselves as kind of a best kept secret, and for a nonprofit, that's not okay. And so we have to come out there and during the giving season, let people know about how they can help support. Making sure that these families can have their kids see a dentist on a regular basis is so important. And so Smiles for the Season, hopefully that's doing that.
Absolutely. So if you're listening at home and you would like to learn more about Community Smiles Dental or donate, if you text SMILE to 855-616-1620, we will send you the donation link. If you're not gived out, I know there's a lot of people asking for a lot of different causes this time of year, but $55 is what it costs to give a kid a cleaning and an exam. And that's really... $55 can go to a lot of different things, but that's really not that much to really help a kid out.
I feel like I spend that much every time I open up Amazon or go to Target, probably even a little bit more. So if you want to take care of, 2 kids going, it's $110.
Yeah. And so, so if you text SMILE to 855-616-1620, we will send you that link. But as we said, you're the new CEO. So you took over in May?
I took over in June. Yes.
So
I can still say that I'm new because once I'm not new, I'm old, and I don't want to be old.
And how has it been? What have you learned so far in the first 6 months?
It's amazing the care that we provide and how compassionate and how much every patient means to not just their dentist, but the dental hygienist, the assistants, even the patient care coordinators at the front desk. Every morning, the staff talks about who is going to be coming in, and everyone remembers everyone. They'll say, oh, yeah, John, remember that one time when he had a problem with this, that, or the other thing? And so I was not sure what to expect, because when you think about a nonprofit health clinic, you think maybe it's somebody who's giving their time pro bono, or you don't know who you're going to see. It's just who's available. But for us, it was really exciting because all of the dentists and the healthcare team are paid. Your dentist is your dentist, just like I know who I'm going to go see. I'm going to see Dr. Katie at Woodlands Dental Group, that you're going to know you're going to see Dr. Connor or Dr. B. And so it's just such a normalized process. And that's really important for the dignity of the people that come in, that really it just looks like a kid's dental clinic. And I'm not sure that I expected that, but it was really wonderful to learn it.
And it does look, and one of our videos that we posted today exactly shows all the different, kids dentist type stuff that you would find in any dentist office that caters to kids, including a puppet
Yes.
that has full dentures.
Yeah.
It's so creepy looking, but also I get it because you're trying to teach kids how to brush their teeth.
It's a little nightmare fuel. I think that might show up in a horror movie someday. But for what it's worth, we do outreach to schools teaching kids about how to brush their teeth and how important it is. And so our folks who are doing outreach, I mean, you could do it on yourself, but why not do it on a dragon with a full set of dentures?
Yeah. Did we ever find out what the dragon's name was?
Oh my gosh. I don't know. Toothy.
It's not Pete.
Yeah, that's up to Pete.
No, Puff. Pete's Puff the magic
Pete's
dragon. It was
Pete
Pete's
owned
dragon.
the dragon.
Pete owned Puff.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe somebody can text in and come up with a good name for it. Yeah.
All right. So then looking ahead to next year, what are your major goals for Community Smiles Dental?
Well, what we want to do is be able to add more dental professionals like our hygienists, our assistants, and be able to extend our hours so that we can see more of our patients. At our Waukesha clinic, our waiting list is a little less than 300 patients that we just haven't been able to get in. At our Falls clinic, it's about 80. Anytime someone has to cancel, we are calling to be able to fill that seat so that somebody who otherwise wasn't going to be able to see a dentist can get in. But being able to fundraise and get the word out about what we do is going to help us be able to provide more care. And so in the upcoming year, we want to make sure that every time we have a chair, we have a kid's butt in that chair getting their teeth cleaned.
All right. So the website is communitysmiles.org. But if you text SMILE to 855-616-1620, we will send you the link to donate for Smiles for the season. Anything else, Scott, before we let you go?
It's just such a wonderful time of year. And one of the things that I know is that folks here in Southeast Wisconsin take care of their own. And I'm just absolutely grateful for all the folks who've previously helped support Community Smiles Dental. And I'm really excited for the new folks who are listening right now to help join the mission. So thank you.
Thank you, Scott. All right. Scott Marshall is the CEO of Community Smiles Dental. Thank you so much and Merry Christmas.
Thank you. Merry Christmas.
All right. We will be back with Steve Scafidi after this.
AccuNet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
Patrick and Monica initially chose a bank to get pre-approved and provide financing for the purchase of their first home. But they were getting a bad feeling when a week after their offer was accepted, the bank still hadn't locked in their rate, nor had the appraisal been ordered. Monica shared her concerns with a friend who happened to be a multi-time AccuNet client. That led to Monica connecting with one of our senior loan consultants the same day, and after gathering some information and reviewing options, we locked in their rate right then and there with loan costs $3,600 lower than what the bank had quoted. The appraisal was ordered right away too, and the loan closed on time just 3 weeks later. We also noticed an oversight in the contract that led to a $3,000 credit from the seller. You can get a generic pre-approval and average or worse service from a bank, or you can get the kind of fast service, advice, attention to detail, and savings that made Monica and Patrick AccuNet's latest raving fans. All you got to do to get started is click on the blue button at AccuNet.com. That's ACCUNET.com.
Advent will get you breathing freely again with simple in-office solutions like turbinate reduction along with balloon sinuplasty that really can change your life.
I know you have a great dog, right? But you know there's room for improvement. At Sit Means Sit Dog Training, we can help. Our attention-based training system uses modern technology to help you better communicate with your dog, even in high distraction. When you schedule a free consultation with us, you will have the opportunity to see our training in action and meet for yourself our happy dogs off leash and under control. Contact Sit Means Sit today at 262-361-3641 or find us on the web at sitmeansitwaukesha.com to schedule your free consultation so you can have a happy, confident, and obedient dog.
Hi, folks. This is Hank Albert, owner of BBC Lighting. Now that we're into the holiday season, it's time to celebrate with new lights and ceiling fans. And our huge award-winning showroom displays hundreds of the best quality lights and fans. There's not a brand we can't get, and our prices are the lowest, even lower than online. I guarantee it. And our knowledgeable staff is always here to assist you in making the right choices. If it's lampshades or repairs you need, we do all that too. There's something for everyone at BBC, including antiques, collectibles, fun for the kids, and our famous free popcorn. We are open Monday through Saturday and located at 20th and St. Paul Avenue, across from Sobelman's and Bachman Furniture, all near the Potawatomi Casino. Stay safe and healthy, my friends.
When you meet Jesus,
You meet someone whose love for you is so great that you find yourself wanting to be better, different, more like Jesus, the one who has given everything for you.
People make New Year's resolutions in hopes of becoming a better version of themselves. But is self-improvement selfish? Dr. Chad Lakees talks about becoming a better you for the sake of others this week on the Lutheran Hour.
Sunday mornings at 6:30 on WTMJ.
Have a holly jolly Christmas, and when you walk down the street, say hello.
Welcome back to Spanning the State. I am Kristen Bride. Brian Noonan is out this week, but we are still having a good time. Rhea and I are in here, and on the phone with us, on his way to Green Bay, is the one, the only Steve Scafidi. How you doing today, Steve?
I'm good. Happy Festivus. Happy game day. I'm wondering if Rhea was sending me a message with that Jesus commercial before it came on, but
probably
I'm hoping not.
All right. Do you have a grievance that you would like to air?
I hate when people don't shovel their sidewalks. Is that a grievance? I think that's one.
That is a grievance. It sounds like something you would be upset about. Do you ever just shovel it for them? When's the last time you shoveled your neighbor's walkway?
Oh, I've done that in the last year. Yeah.
Okay.
Like I actually take their garbage cans in sometimes too.
Very nice. Very considerate.
Mm-hmm.
You don't
I'm
have any
just a giver.
grievances?
You know this, Kristen.
Wait, what?
I'm just a giver. You know this.
I do know that you're a giver. All right. So you're going up are you going to be on air from 4 to 6 for the pregame?
I will be on for some of that time. I'll certainly be on at 4 with Alex Stroh from our teammates at ESPN 94.5 doing some Packers talk. I love doing Packers pregame, and I'll be going to the game for a little bit probably and just enjoying myself.
Well, where do you rank your knowledge as far as different topics, like politics, Packers, general culture? Like, what do you think you know the most of to the least?
Well, I think it would be politics, sports, but close, and then culture. Most of it I could care
So
less.
you think you're almost as knowledgeable about sports and Packers as you are about the politics?
I guess it depends how you define sports. I don't keep track of like statistics, stats, and all that stuff, but I certainly know the history of the Packers and the players and the coaches and all that stuff. So I don't know the numbers side of it because I'm bad at math. I think I've already told you that.
I actually didn't know that you're bad at math.
Yeah, it's not that's like my only weakness, I think, is math.
That's your only weakness? Would Kathy agree with that?
No, she would not agree with that whatsoever. She would not agree with that.
All right, so for you, by far and away, your favorite sports team is the Packers, right? More than the Bucks, more than the Brewers?
Yeah, not even close, yeah.
What do you think it is about the Packers that holds your heart like that?
A couple things. One, my dad introduced me to the Packers when I was very young, so I can remember. I mean, I've been around for a long time. I'm 66 now, so I remember, which is also Ray Nitschke's number, but for those historians out there, one of my favorite players when I was a kid, him and Bart Starr. But my dad introduced me to the Packers, took us to like preseason games, and I think we went to a few regular season games, and I saw Bart Starr at a very young age, and I sort of just followed along, went to I've been to hundreds of Packers games at Lambeau Field in all incarnations, the old place with the green metal fencing and now the beautiful new facade and the great club seat section, which I enjoy sitting in.
Did you inherit your tickets?
Did I what?
Did you inherit your tickets or did you get off a waiting list and get them?
I got off a waiting list for originally my outside seats were the old County Stadium seats. And then, of course, we got the gold package. So I got those in 1983 when I was a senior in college. And then Kathy and I, when they built the club section, we got on, which is a different waiting list. I don't know if people realize that or not. We got on that right away, and we got seats in 2003, and have had them ever since.
Which waiting list? Do you know which waiting list moves faster?
That I don't know, but I know that there's been a lot of movement in the last couple of years because a lot of people like to reach out to me about what it's like in the club section, what it's like sitting outside, how long they waited. So I think there's some movement there. And let's be honest, the cost of everything goes up. And if you believe the stories about, not to make it political, but that people their budgets are tighter, spending $200 or $500 on a Packers game, that can be something that people have to reevaluate at some
But
time.
Here's my question. Is the club section fun? Like, I know that it's comfortable. It's obviously warmer. It's probably it's definitely more comfortable, but like, it also seems there's less atmosphere. So it's less really in the moment, in the element of being at a Packer game. What do you, as someone who's sat in both, what do you think?
Yeah, it's not the same. It's it is fun because you get to know the people around you, and some of the folks, like my friend Don Clark from Iowa, who sits next to me, he's been he's had tickets for probably 15 of those 20 years the club seats have been around. So you establish those kind of relationships. It's not the same as sitting outside. Outside is nuts. If you've been outside for a Packer game, you know what I'm talking about. The alcohol, the game itself, some people never sit down, just the insanity of it all. And, of course, the Packers are a great team to cheer for because they've won more world championships than any other team. So that all kind of plays into it. But the ball is unlike any other place in sports, I think.
I agree with you. All right. Well, Steve, have so much fun. You'll be on air at 4 p.m.?
I'll be on, 4 p.m., WTMJ and ESPN 94.5. So listen in.
Listen in to Steve Scafidi. As always, have a great day and Merry Christmas, buddy.
All right. Merry Christmas to you, too. And Happy Festivus.
And Happy Festivus. All right. We'll be back after the top of the hour news to spin around the state.
Hey, it's officially tailgating season, and Tailgate Tuesday is back. Join me, John Mercure.
And me, Julia Fellow, on Wisconsin's Afternoon News every Tuesday in the 4 p.m. hour for a chance to win a $150 gift card from our friends at Vienna Beef.
And be sure to catch Green and Gold Insiders every Tuesday on Wisconsin's Afternoon News for all you need to know about the Green and Gold. It's Tailgate Tuesdays.
It's Tailgate Tuesdays, and it's only here on WTMJ.
Hey, Wisconsin, Jim Bob Morse here. Get ready to break out the Bandito with El Bandito Yankee, the official tequila of game day. 100% blue Weber agave, award-winning, all-natural, additive-free, and the smoothest tequila Milwaukee, Madison, and Titletown has ever tasted. Get yours today at La Pina on 3rd Street or your favorite local store. Remember, you always win with the undefeated flavor of El Bandito Yankee tequila. And for events, recipes, and places for purchase, go to elbanditoyankee.com.
For over a century, local radio has evolved with the needs of the community. From politics to pop culture, we keep you informed, bringing you the most relevant news, online, on air, and on the go. You have trusted us with your news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Trust us to keep moving with you. Text radio to 52886 and tell Congress local broadcasting is here to stay.
Since 1964, we've changed your tires and so much more. Richland's Tire and Service, such a refreshing change. Richland's.
So how do you underpromise and still get the job? We believe in our hearts we're going to do great work for you. We're just really careful about making unrealistic promises. At Semper Fi, we refuse to set the bar higher than we can jump. But be assured, that's the goal, to do all we can to jump as high as possible to try to exceed your expectations. We're looking to break records. That's how you win over customers, get really great referrals, and build a great business. When you're making a decision to hire an exterior remodeling company, character, integrity, and the feeling that the people you're about to hire are truly eager to show you how good they are should stand at the top of your list. This is Brad Youngluth with Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company. For your new roof, siding, window and door installation, or masonry work, you can count on Semper Fi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry, Semper Fi.
The holiday season is a magical time of year to visit Lake Geneva. Embark on an enchanting Santa cruise on the lake. Take in a parade of trees and marvel at the world's tallest glass tree, built before your very eyes. Enjoy holiday shopping in a historic downtown. Chill out with festive food and libations in an igloo under the stars. Or find adventure on a zipline, ski hill, or snow-covered nature trail. Make Lake Geneva your place for holiday fun this year. Check out visitlakegeneva.com today for all the festive details.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
I've been playing sports all my life. Little football, basketball, pickleball, cross training, mud events, Spartan races and things like that.
For Dr. Eric Williams, a successful chiropractor, staying active means everything. So when nagging knee pain slowed him down, he didn't want drugs or invasive surgery. He found a natural way to get lasting relief. QC Kinetics Cellular Therapies.
We're using my body's natural abilities to get better. And that's huge. In time, that's going to be the way of the future. Using your own body's ability to heal. Now I can play day to day and not have that severe pain.
Now he's back out there doing what he loves, thanks to QC Kinetics.
Life is good. You're not going to slow me down.
Leave the pain behind and get moving. Book your free consultation today with QC Kinetics.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
Don't you just love a big holiday meal? Honey glazed ham, roasted potatoes, savory stuffing, and Grandma's homemade gingerbread cookies. I tell you, all that food can really plug you up. Your plumbing, that is. 'Tis the season for shoving a feast worth of leftover ingredients down the kitchen drain. Your pipes prefer that you throw bones, coffee grounds, eggshells, potato peels, and grease into the trash instead. Otherwise, these icky remnants bond together to grinch up your plumbing and cause all that water to back up into your holiday get-together. So, if Santa brings you a clogged drain for Christmas, call Mr. Holland's Home Services. Mr. Holland's Hydroblast technology will bomb that blockage back to the North Pole. Soon, your family will be singing, "Let it flow, let it flow, let it flow." 866-992-1717 or visit MrHollandsHomeservices.com. Ready to flush away that holiday stress? We can help.
$1 doesn't buy much unless you're spending it at Griffin. For just $1 over cost, you can buy brand new tires from us. This is Jim Griffin. Any major brand, $1 over our cost with free tire repair and lifetime rotation. We'll even show you the invoice to prove it. Our only requirements, we put them on for you. Buy one or the whole set. The dollar deal from Griffin. Milwaukee, Waukesha, Fort Atkinson, and Jefferson. Griffin. The buck stops here. The deals on tires don't. That's Griffin.
Not combinable with other tire offers.
Ready for a win? Well, it's your year. At Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee, you can win over $2,000 in free play every month all year long. Just play your favorite games and you might take the stage in the It's Your Year game show. 25 winners each Thursday. There's $300,000 in cash and prizes up for grabs this January. Yeah, we think it's your year. More info at paysbig.com. Must be 21 years old to play.
Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee.
Tonight, the Bulls are on the Bucks' naughty list.
He's rejected by Giannis again. He is not done yet. Gary Trent Jr. stepping into a three on the other side as he buries it.
Our coverage of the game in Chicago begins tonight at 6 with Bucks Shoot Around. We are your home for the Milwaukee Bucks. News Radio 620 WTMJ Milwaukee.
201, it's 38 degrees. A winter weather advisory is now in effect until 8 o'clock for Fond du Lac and Sheboygan counties. Tonight, a mix and chance for snow and rain, and then mostly cloudy, a low of 31. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Tiff Pua. Snowy roads are ahead for Packers fans. Storm Team 4 meteorologist Tyler Moore says those heading to the game should be aware.
If you are heading up towards Lambeau for the game, you're probably going to run into some snow showers, maybe a little bit of a wintry mix, pretty much from Sheboygan all the way up for the rest of the way up to Green Bay.
Snow showers are expected along I-43 until around 6 o'clock. Your complete WTMJ 5-day forecast is coming up. Remembering the last victim of the Abundant Life Christian School shooting in Madison, 42-year-old Aaron West was a teacher and substitute coordinator for 4 years who died in the shooting last Monday. West's friend Nate Kolbeck remembered her love of community and her family at her funeral.
But she was someone who, when she said it, when she said she loved you, she really meant it. She backed it up. She showed this to us so well.
The funeral for 14-year-old Ruby Vergara, the student killed in the school shooting, was held on Saturday morning. Governor Evers has ordered flags to continue flying at half-staff until sunset today. Pleading not guilty to murder and hiding a corpse in Waukesha, 62-year-old Kevin Leishwick is charged in the death of 56-year-old Carlos Maldonado, who went missing in April. His remains were found wrapped in a tarp near Frame Park in Waukesha at the end of October. Maldonado died of gunshot wounds, and bullets from the gun used matched the ones in Leishwick's possession. Maldonado also appeared to be at the top of Leishwick's alleged hit list. Leishwick is back in court in February. Former Republican Congressman Matt Gaetz allegedly used illicit drugs and paid for sex with multiple women, including a 17-year-old girl, according to a House Ethics Committee report released today. News Nation's Joe Khalil.
So it appears that the DOJ investigation into Matt Gaetz is the same allegations that we're reading now in this report. And we haven't seen the DOJ's investigation. We don't know the full breadth of it, but we know that it came from the prosecution of Matt Gaetz' associate, Joel Greenberg, who actually was himself arrested and then prosecuted, and he's serving a prison term for a couple of different crimes, one being sex trafficking. This came as a result of that.
Gaetz filed a lawsuit against the Ethics Committee today. An iconic Milwaukee nightclub is closing its doors at the end of the year.
Victor's has been around for nearly 60 years. Located on Van Buren near downtown, the nightclub is closing shop, shutting down after the new year. The owners, three brothers, tell On Milwaukee their children weren't interested in taking over the business. They say that's okay. They put the property up for sale in 2023. It remains on the market. The establishment is hosting one last big party, a 24-hour New Year's Eve bash. Eric Bilstead, WTMJ News.
Time for news about your money. Here's your WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. A mixed bag on the boards today. Your Dow is down 30 points to 42,809, but your S&P 500 is up 25 to 5,955, and the Nasdaq is up 135 to 19,708. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Sport, traffic, and weather are next. Sighting and limited WTMJ News Time is 2:05.
The holidays come but once a year, and Masterforce is here to spread some cheer with drivers and drills and blades and bits. From sanders and saws to power tool kits, Menards has the value and savings, of course. Shop tools and accessories from Masterforce. Find great stocking stuffers and gifts at Menards. Plus, don't forget about gift cards. Hurry now for deals on Masterforce. Available at Menards, the best tool source.
You want to feel important. You want to be a part of something bigger, something that matters and can help change things. You want to feel like you belong. We know. We felt that way too. And that's why we did something about it. We aren't just Army National Guard soldiers. We are normal people just like you. And together, we can make a difference. Take on your legacy. Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
Sponsored by the Wisconsin Army National Guard. Aired by the Wisconsin Broadcasters Association and this station.
With the ability to market luxury homes on a higher scale than ever before, Century 21 Benefit Realty has taken a huge step forward to tap into a global network of buyers. Maximum exposure to spotlight your unique home with our fine homes and estates marketing so you can sell it for the highest price. And with no upfront fees and 1.9% real estate commission, you win. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated. First off, our 1.9% commission structure helps get their foot in the door, and that's why agents like working here. But what they really like is having the strongest marketing tools available, with the resources to help them sell homes at the highest prices to satisfy their clients. Century 21 Benefit Realty offers what agents like most, and that's to help them be successful. If you really want to believe in the business model that you're representing, give me a call. I'm Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty. Call me, and let's talk about your future. Each office is independently owned and operated.
Time for a WTMJ sports update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. The Bucks will be shorthanded in their matchup with the Bulls tonight. Giannis is questionable, Dame is doubtful, and Chris Middleton is probable. Our coverage starts with Bucks shoot-around at 6 o'clock. And the playoffs are in sight for the Green Bay Packers, who host the New Orleans Saints tonight at Lambeau Field, ready to ride on the shoulders of their hottest player.
Packers running back Josh Jacobs has 8 touchdowns in his last 4 games. In Sunday night's win over the Seahawks, Jacobs logged 30 touches.
I feel great. I don't have no bruises, no nothing right now, so I feel great.
At a time some running backs are limping to the finish line, Jacobs appears to be getting stronger.
One thing about playing this long, like you kind of know angles and things like that. So like even if I do get tackled, or like I'm falling a certain type of way, I might use, their force against them.
Jacobs enters tonight's game against the Saints with 1,147 yards rushing this season. Greg Matzik, WTMJ News.
Coverage of tonight's game begins with Green Bay Game Day, including WTMJ Steve Scafidi at 4 o'clock. And a programming note, the Packer game for Sunday, December 29th against the Vikings has been moved to a 325 kick. Taking a look at your roads with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic. One big issue to talk about, the 894 West ramp at 27th Street South. The left lane is blocked due to a crash. Now, traffic is moving super slow through that area because the police are out, and those backups go all the way back to the 94 interchange. So please be careful, watch your speeds through there, and go slow.
Traffic is sponsored by Hall Volkswagen. Visit hallvw.com.
Help fellow commuters. Report accidents and slowdowns to the Hall Volkswagen Traffic Tip Line. 414-238-9329. Visit Hall Volkswagen during Volkswagen's Sign Then Drive event.
Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast. A winter weather advisory now in effect until 8 o'clock for Fond du Lac and Sheboygan counties. Tonight, a mixed chance early and then mostly cloudy with a low of 31. For your Tuesday, mostly cloudy, a high of 36. For Christmas, mostly cloudy and isolated drizzle, a high of 38. Thursday, a slight chance of rain and cloudy, a high of 43. And Friday, your chance of rain again and cloudy, a high of 47. In Madison right now, it's 34. In Waukesha, it's 34. In Green Bay, it's 33. And in Milwaukee, it's cloudy and 38 degrees. I'm Tiff Bua, Sighting Unlimited. WTMJ News Time is 2:09.
It's time to take a spin around Wisconsin and find stories you might have missed. Here's Spinning the State on Spanning the State with Kristen Bry and Brian Noonan.
Actually, it's just me. Brian is out this week, so it's just me, Kristen Bry. We are going to spin around the state quickly today because I'm very excited for our next guests who are coming in after this to talk about civil conversations and talking to people who maybe disagree with you. But first, let's see where we're going today. Waukesha. All right. I would love to hear from people who remember this when it happened, because that would have been last Wednesday, whatever the December 18th was, last week, was officially the 50th anniversary of when Waukesha had its 15 minutes of primetime television fame via Happy Days. So you might remember that last January, was the 50th anniversary of Happy Days, which obviously was predominantly taking place in Milwaukee. But their first Christmas season episode, which was that December, so 50 years ago this month, the episode wasn't called Waukesha, but it might as well have been, because I guess they said the name Waukesha 11 times in 22 minutes. Because you remember with commercial times, sitcom episodes, not that long. And so even though I was a Nick at Night lover as a kid, so I watched so many of these old TV shows growing up, including Happy Days, I don't remember this episode. But the episode was officially titled Guess Who's Coming to Christmas? And it was basically Arthur Fonzarelli, a.k.a. the Fonz, or Fonzie, telling Richie, Potsy, and Ralph that he was spending Christmas Eve going to his cousin's house in Waukesha. Turns out he keeps mentioning Waukesha, and then turns out he didn't really have a cousin, didn't really end up going to Waukesha, and ends up having Christmas at the Cunninghams, a la Trains, Planes, and Automobiles, as far as inviting people into your home for the Christmas spirit. But I would love to know, for people who remember, so this would have aired in 1974. So what was Waukesha like in 1974? I have a feeling it was probably a little different than it is today. But happy anniversary to Waukesha's primetime debut. All right, let's see where we're going next.
Brown deer.
Brown deer. All right, so the Marketplace of Brown Deer, which is a major spot for commercial growth in the village, has a new Nebraska-based developer taking a $21 million mixed-use redevelopment project and revitalize 21 acres of the south portion of the shopping center. So in the past, this location has struggled with tenant vacancy rates. And I feel like you can picture this in your mind, even if you don't know the one that's in Brown Deer. A lot of the shopping strip mall type places in different suburbs just have struggled to keep the big box stores in there. So the one in Brown Deer over the last 5 years Kohl's, TJ Maxx, Burlington Coat Factory, Bob's Discount Furniture, a T-Mobile store, a tile store. These are all have been circulated through opened and closed. And so the Village Communities Development Director, Nate Petrowski, said, quote, "It's a really bad look to have acres of parking and just kind of this desolate looking space." According to a 2022 community survey, the Marketplace is the highest priority redevelopment location in Brown Deer. With the new development, they are adding 128,000 square foot retail building for a big box retailer, but have not publicly revealed who yet. But a Bullseye Playground is sparking speculation of a Target store, thus the Bullseye. There will be 3 new commercial outlets as well as a mixed-use 3-story building that will hold about 100 market-rate apartment units and over 21,000 square feet of commercial space on the first floor. The unit is said to potentially open near the end of 2026, so that is good. All right, that is Spinning Around the State on Spanning the State. We have a very special Spinning the State tomorrow. We are spinning around the North Pole tomorrow. What's that? I'm not ruining anything. You still got to tune in and listen to it.
I guess. Yeah, you're giving it away.
Oh, well, it's fine. But again, if you want to listen to our episode tomorrow, it's going to be very, very fun. It's a very Christmassy, fun episode. If you can't listen live from 1 to 3, download the podcast. Listen to us on your travels. All right, when we come back, I am a big fan of having conversations with people you disagree with, having civil discourse and being able to learn from where they're coming from, seeking to understand versus trying to be right. And Institute for Reforming Government did just that with a group of Wisconsinites who span the spectrum of ideological leanings. And I'm so excited to talk to both CJ Safer, who's the CEO of IRG, and 2 of the participants in this exercise. And so we'll talk to them on the other side of this.
It's time to take this tour on the road.
It's 106 miles to Chicago. We got a full tank of gas, half a pack of cigarettes. It's dark and we're wearing sunglasses. Hit it.
And while we are playing the hits...
Are you the police? No, ma'am. We're musicians.
It's been known to give our brothers down south a case of the blues. The Bucks trek down to Chicago to take on the Bulls. Our Bucks Radio Game Day coverage starts tonight at 6:30. We are the home of the Bucks. WTMJ.
Hurry into Shopko Optical before your vision benefits expire. Vince Vitrano here. Book your eye exam and purchase frames, contact lenses, and more from a professional team that provides quality eye care, comprehensive and personalized to you. With an expansive network of insurance providers, Shopko Optical will walk you through all of your options. You'll maximize your vision benefits and FSA dollars before the end of the year. Call Shopko Optical or visit shopko.com to schedule your visit today.
When you need to sell quickly, choose Grandview to buy your home, even if it's less than perfect. Don't waste time and money on finding a real estate agent and dealing with showings. We'll buy your home completely as is. No repairs, not even a clean out. Grandview Homes gives you an offer in hours, and we close on the day you choose in as little as 10 days with no closing costs. Visit GrandviewHomes.com for your fair cash offer today. Grandview Homes, the fastest and easiest way to sell your home.
I've always believed that great service makes all the difference. At Waterstone Bank, it's more than just banking. It's personal. When I needed help choosing an account, my banker took the time to understand my needs and guided me through my options. Thanks to her advice, I can watch my money grow, knowing it's secure.
Welcome to your Waterstone Bank, where community and personal service come together. Member FDIC.
You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch. You really are.
Interesting song choice for this segment, Rhea. Welcome back to Spanning the State. I am Kristen Bry, and one of the things I felt after this election was that we need to be having more conversations with people we disagree with, not less. But that is sometimes hard to do because we gravitate towards people who sometimes think like us, so we are politically segregated in a lot of ways of the conversations that we have and the different types of people we surround ourselves with. But also, we're not necessarily always taught how to have those conversations. If you think about it, we are taught don't talk politics, sex, or religion, right? And so if you are never taught how to have conversations around heated topics, how do you not get heated when talking about topics you disagree with? So I am very excited to hear how this exercise went. So Institute for Reforming Government brought together 8 residents from Milwaukee and rural parts of the state, with the 8 different people having very diverse political opinions. And it was a 4-hour-long conversation on major public policy issues. And so one of the things they found, that despite political differences, Wisconsinites share the same goals, dreams, and aspirations. So joining us now are CJ Safer, who's the CEO of IRG, and 2 of the participants, Josh Leffelholtz and Jakari Carr. Welcome to the show, guys. So CJ, let's start with you. Just as far as why do this? Why was this an important thing for Institute for Reforming Government to do?
Well, at IRG, we're interested in building bridges and connecting people to policy and just learning more about Wisconsinites and really what kind of drives their policy and voting behavior. And for this project in particular, look, we know we live in heated political times.
Yeah.
We don't have to dive too deep into it. Let's all assume that. But we had the basic question was, can we get 8 strangers together from different backgrounds, races, and political beliefs and get them just talking about, real issues like economic mobility and K-12 education, school choice? Can we see how the conversation would go? And then can we find any common ground? And how we did it is we had facilitators, including one person at IRG, another person at the Mercatus Center. And we would bring up a topic and we'd get someone center left to weigh in. And then we would ask someone from the center right, if they understood why they had that opinion. So we kept kind of trying to peel back the onion as to why.
Mm-hmm.
And truly, it was one of the most remarkable projects we've ever done. Really, because I think when you get down to it, it kind of confirmed, what you and I talk about, that there's, more that unites everyday Wisconsinites than divides us.
Well, I had said that at the top of the show when I was setting everything up, that I feel like that's basic of what our friendship is that we have different ideas about policy, but largely have the same outcome and goal when we think about a better Wisconsin. And so I don't know who wants to go first as far as how you heard about this opportunity and what made you interested. So Jakari, if maybe we'll start with you.
Yes. So I heard about this opportunity through my mentor, Alan Ruppel, and I was just intrigued to be a part of it because I've always been one of those people who believe it's fair to agree to disagree and still be cool after that. So when I heard about it, I was all in, and it was a super dope experience.
Because how do you identify, politically?
As far as the race?
Yeah, when you come in, as far as are you a Democrat?
I'm
are
a
you
Democrat.
Progressive? You're a Democrat.
Yes,
okay.
ma'am.
And then Josh, similar question as far as how did you hear about it? Why did you want to do it? And how do you identify?
Yeah, I've got a buddy who kind of asked me about it, and I thought it might be interesting to kind of go in and just see other opinions and see how you kind of, how you could handle interacting with people with a different view. I'm more right-leaning. So it was interesting to sit around a table with a group of people that had very different ideas politically and really just at the end of the day, really understand that, we're all human. We all agreed on so many things. So it was very interesting.
What were some of the assumptions you had going into it as far as where you stood on and either socioeconomic structures or school choice? Where did you start, and did you find yourself in a different position or having different or more complex thoughts about it by the time it was over?
Sure. I think one of the main things I thought, it was coming out of the election, I thought it was going to be heated. I thought every topic was going to be heated no matter what. And, it was laid out very well. It was, here are some ground rules. Here's how you start a conversation. And I think once people learned how to have that conversation, we knew there were boundaries, and we learned how to respect other people. It's it didn't matter what topic it was. Everybody at the end of the day just approached it so differently, not heated. You're not trying to attack anybody, and everybody was together. So, going into school choice, I appreciate everybody's opinion that, we should do this or we should not do that. And me, I thought that my view would definitely be struck down by a lot of the left-leaning people, but we all came together. So we kind of all agree.
Jakari, what was your similar experience? Like, what were some of your assumptions going into the conversation?
Oh, man, going into it, similar to Josh, I was just thinking, man, it's after the election. This is going to be some heated conversation.
Because it was a 1 week after, right? That was really close.
It was really close.
A lot of raw emotion still.
It was right after, but I talked so much already that I was just ready. I was ready for whatever came, but it was totally different. Like, it was exactly what I meant when I said it's okay to agree to disagree, but we all had the same ideas at the end. We just had different paths on getting there. So I was just really impressed, and I had a good time. And it's crazy because, like Josh said, he's to the right and I'm to the left, but we're cool now, like, and it's fine.
Did that surprise you as far as like the commonality that you had with people who identify potentially differently politically?
For me, yes, because I don't often get to talk to people with different opinions. Or if we do, it's like we kind of like forget that part. We just kind of have the conversation and then we go about our day. So to be there for 4 hours and know you're locked in here and we're going to have these conversations, it was different. And it blew me away that it went so well. And so now I'm just trying to have a lot of those, or I'm pushing CJ to have a lot of those because it was just so amazing.
Well, and I guess that's the question. So what were your, as someone who structured the conversation, CJ, what do you feel like this is the tip of the iceberg? Or do you think this is like, did you reach any of your goals by doing this?
Well, it confirmed the assumption that people don't talk to each other outside of their silos. And we are all guilty of this, myself included. We tend to kind of gravitate towards people who are going to confirm our own opinions and our own biases. And I think it's gotten significantly worse with partisan media. It's gotten significantly worse with social media, where you can kind of just live in your own echo chamber and never talk to other people, and you kind of build, assumptions about the other side and what they believe in, but not just that, but why they believe what they do. You question people's motives.
Yeah,
I think what we got out of this was that a lot of people's motives are really similar. So when you kind of start with that basic foundation, then it's easier to understand people's backgrounds and their stories of how they get to the conclusions that they get. So at IRG, we kind of see this as kind of a sign of things to come from, we want to do more of this, more focus groups, more summits, to one, just to get people talking.
Yeah. And
two, kind of the things that we, want to learn from it. I think it helps us be a better organization. That kind of, there's more that unites us than divides us.
Absolutely. So I guess lasting piece of advice for people, especially going into the holidays, especially being with family members, that either of you would give to start a conversation with someone that you think might think differently than you do. Josh, we'll start with you.
Yeah, I guess first, it's so different than social media. Like social media, you don't see somebody's face, you don't see somebody's eyes, nothing resonates with you. There's nothing behind that keyboard. When you're in a room with people and you have to look each other in the eyes and realize that this is another human being with emotions and beliefs, and it's like you're a lot less likely to knock them down, and everybody wants everybody else to succeed. Like when you're with them, it's like, oh, we're connecting. I want you to be good. I want to be good. And I guess just less social media. Just have some real conversations with people and try to respect people.
Absolutely. Jakari?
For me, it's real conversations matter as well. I think it's important to go into conversations like this being willing to listen more than talk. So that way you can kind of understand. I feel like nowadays everybody is listening to respond versus listening to gain understanding. And I would just encourage people to be open to listening more than talking. I know when we were having that event, one thing Josh said that opened me up to him, we talked about the American dream a little bit and how he believed in the American dream. And I also believe in the American dream. And so when I heard him talk about that, it just opened my eyes to be like, man, you know what? He's right. It looks a little different, but he's right. And ever since we kind of clicked on that, we've been seeing each other everywhere and just getting along. So I just encourage people to be open and to listening to people and understanding people and understand that there's all different type of ways to get there, but we all got the common goal.
All right, Jakari, Josh, CJ, thanks so much for coming in and sharing this story with us. Can't wait to see what's next.
Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays.
Merry Christmas. Happy Holidays.
See you in 2025.
We'll be back after this.
By now, you've probably figured out what's most important to us at Semper Fi is our reputation. Building a great character-driven remodeling company is actually quite easy. It's just the first 20 years that are a bit challenging. Great companies are collections of great people, and we have great people. They're the ones that helped us build our reputation, but they only come after you've built something they want to be part of. We don't necessarily have to look for good people. They come to us. And that's what you want when you hire an exterior remodeling company. Someone who's going to stand behind their work, and a company that is truly proud of their people. And it's because they do great work. And when you're ready, we'll do great work for you too. This is Brad Youngluth with Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company. For your new roof, siding, window and door installation, or masonry work, you can count on Semper Fi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry, Semper Fi.
The Word became flesh and made his dwelling among us. God's promise is fulfilled. Archbishop Listecki here. God has seen fit to bless us with the gift of his Son. Emmanuel, God is with us. This is an incredible gift of God's love for us. But like all gifts, it needs to be opened and shared. Through his Son, we are joined together as one family in the common bond of God's love. Blessings to all for a Merry Christmas. Join us at Mass.
Welcome back to Spanning the State. I am Kristen Bry. We were just talking to CJ Safer and Josh Leffelholz and Jakari Carr about their experience having a 4-hour conversation about. I feel like we got to do that a little bit on the show for anyone who felt a certain way and had to come in and do the show the next day. But I am very encouraged by organizations that are trying to bridge those gaps and coordinate people actually having IRL conversations, because I think that is always a good thing. All right, ABC News and local headlines are next.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. The House Ethics Committee released the report stemming from the sexual misconduct and illicit drug use investigation into former Congressman Matt Gaetz. Those allegations, which he has denied, derailed his nomination for Attorney General. Here's ABC's Olivia Rubin.
The report sort of documents this large drug use by Matt Gaetz. There are multiple individuals in the report who say they personally saw him taking drugs, and that on sort of that large scale, the payments to women who Gaetz was allegedly having sex with, either to them directly or funneled through one of his associates, Joel Greenberg.
The holiday travel rush in full swing. Traffic is building on roads and at airports. A break in the storms from this weekend is helping keep that flow, with fewer than 36 flight cancellations nationwide so far. But another round of storms on the horizon, and that could impact travel on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. Stocks are mixed heading into the closing bell. This is ABC News.
Citing Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 2:31. I'm Tiff Pua. Hate flyers appear in another southeast Wisconsin community. Residents in a McWanago neighborhood found flyers with white supremacist messaging on their sidewalks and driveways Saturday morning. Plastic bags filled with pellets contained messages encouraging people to join the neo-Nazi group Aryan Freedom Network. The flyers are similar to the ones found Thursday on Milwaukee's south side, falsely claiming mass deportation is coming, among other racially charged messages. It may be condemned and demolished, but it's not stopping the tax bills from going to people at the Horizon West condos in Waukesha. 49 condo owners say they were trapped paying taxes for a building that no longer exists. The building was evacuated and condemned in 2021 after a storm revealed structural issues within the building. It was eventually torn down in January of this year. Waukesha County tells our news partners at TMJ4 that the only way the condo owners will be able to stop paying their property taxes is if the building is foreclosed on, which would need first approval by county leaders. And reminders about Milwaukee City services over the Christmas holiday. There won't be garbage or recycling pickup tomorrow, Tuesday, or Wednesday. Collection days are usually shifted during the holidays. There also won't be overnight parking or parking meter enforcement starting Tuesday night into Wednesday, but vehicles must be legally parked. Night parking enforcement resumes Thursday night into Friday morning. Time for news about your money. Here's your WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. A mixed bag on the boards today. Your Dow is down 7 points to 42,833, but your S&P 500 is up 28 points to 5,959, and your NASDAQ is up 147 points to 19,719. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, and Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Taking a look at your roads with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver traffic. An incident to report that is starting to clear. 894 west at the ramp to 27th Street South. The left lane was blocked due to a crash, but the tow truck was out and police are assisting. There are still some slowdowns in that area, so be prepared to tap the brakes. And we're also starting to see slowdowns, the normal ones, at 94 west from Clybourne through the Ballpark interchange. Here's your WTMJ 5-day forecast. A winter weather advisory is now in effect until 8 o'clock for Fond du Lac and Sheboygan counties. Tonight, a mixed chance early and then mostly cloudy, a low of 31. For your Tuesday, mostly cloudy and a high of 36. For Christmas, mostly cloudy and isolated drizzle, a high of 38. Thursday, slight rain chance and cloudy, a high of 43. And for your Friday, the rain chance again and cloudy with a high of 47. Right now, if you're heading to Green Bay, it's 33 degrees. Fort Atkinson, it's 34. And in Milwaukee, it's cloudy and 38 degrees. I'm Tiff Pua. Sighting Unlimited WTMJ News Time is 2:34.
The Upswing is your place for commerce and community.
Are you seeing the customers expect maybe a different brand type in Green Bay than they do in Milwaukee?
Yeah, I think so.
Hosted by Jeff Sherman.
A little bit mid-tier price point people tend to gravitate towards in Green Bay. Of course, you have the high-end shopper up there too. Definitely more towards the casual side of things.
Weekdays from 10 to 11 on WTMJ. Presented by Horicon Bank, the natural choice for all your banking needs.
If you're living with joint pain in your shoulders, hips, elbows, and knees, and you have Medicare or Medicaid insurance, coming to Rejuvenex to solve your pain problems is something you should strongly consider. First off, because our FDA-approved pain treatments have been shown in many cases to be highly effective at reducing inflammation and substantially alleviating pain. Secondly, Medicare and Medicaid cover Rejuvenex treatments, so your cost could be nothing, or next to nothing at all. Chronic pain will only worsen with age. This leads to a far more compromised lifestyle, depression, and soon they start talking surgery. And then what? You have to get in front of arthritis and chronic pain, because the sooner you do, by letting us begin to calm those pain points, the better. I'm Rejuvenex founder Richard Salinas, and we can alleviate your pain so you can rejuvenate your life. Go to Rejuvenex.com to request your free pain evaluation.
The holiday season is a magical time of year to visit Lake Geneva. Embark on an enchanting Santa cruise on the lake. Take in a parade of trees and marvel at the world's tallest glass tree, built before your very eyes. Enjoy holiday shopping in a historic downtown. Chill out with festive food and libations in an igloo under the stars. Or find adventure on a zipline, ski hill, or snow-covered nature trail. Make Lake Geneva your place for holiday fun this year. Check out visitlakegeneva.com today for all the festive details.
When you meet Jesus, you meet someone whose love for you is so great that you find yourself wanting to be better, different, more like Jesus, the one who has given everything for you.
People make New Year's resolutions in hopes of becoming a better version of themselves. But is self-improvement selfish? Dr. Chad Lakees talks about becoming a better you for the sake of others this week on the Lutheran Hour.
Sunday mornings at 6:30 on WTMJ.
Happy holidays from Siding Unlimited. From all our talented American craftsmen, our office peeps, and our families too. Siding Unlimited, Wisconsin's best contractor for defending your house, has nothing to sell you to put under your Christmas tree. Siding Unlimited sells big stuff, and they insist on installing it for you too. Doors and windows, roofing solutions, quality siding and decks. Long, brutal months follow the holidays. You can talk with Siding Unlimited about doing battle with Wisconsin's famous winter weather, and then they could get to work for you early next year, and at this year's prices, if you know what I mean. I guess you could put a picture of new doors and windows under that tree. Start at sidingunlimited.com or drop into the unique Outside In Siding Unlimited showroom, 665 Larry Court in Waukesha, so we can personally discuss your happy holidays.
Welcome back to Spanning the State. I am Kristen Bry. Brian Noonan is out all week. We wish him well. We miss him. But I was looking for some fun stories or some feel-good stories as we head into Christmas. Obviously, Christmas Eve is tomorrow and Christmas Day on Wednesday. And some of us have not found gifts for our siblings yet, so that is what we are potentially doing after the show today. But any gift I find from my brother will pale in comparison to the gift that this sister gave her other sister, a second chance at a healthier life. So earlier this year, Vicki Ness helped her sister, Jamie Marshall, cure her chronic disease with the gift of a liver transplant at the UW Health Transplant Center, which is the only transplant center in Wisconsin that performs living liver transplant surgeries in adults. And that is exactly what they did. And so they both join us on the phone now. Jamie and Vicki, welcome to Spanning the State.
Great. Thank you for having us on today.
Absolutely. Well, happy holidays. Jamie, let's start with you. So when I read the story, so I have never heard of this before. Maple syrup urine disease. What is that, and how does it affect the body?
It is a disorder that I have had, obviously, but it basically, I don't have I don't have the enzymes to break down 3 amino acids. So there's leucine, isoleucine, and valine. And if leucine is the most important one to look at, and if that gets too high, my body kind of starts shutting down because it's fighting either a virus or an infection. So when I say that, though, I say it usually flares up, and I get a headache, and I get really tired, and I feel off balance. And so those are the initial signs inside that no one else can see. So that's what I deal with, besides whatever else is ailing me at that time.
And you were you were a baby, right? It was before they even tested for this for all babies. And so you've lived with this your whole life. And what was the impact as far as what your diet was and how many doctor's appointments that you were doing as you were growing up?
It affected me quite a bit. There was always parties and birthday parties and such where growing up as a kid you want to go, but Mom and my dad really educated me on what I can have and what I can't. So that was kind of a downfall. I have a formula mixture that I have to make, or had to make, and I had to drink a certain amount of that every day, and it tasted horrible from the first time I can remember drinking it to today. So that was awesome getting rid of that.
So then, Vicki, you're the older sister. What was it like growing up, having to watch your younger sister go through all of this?
Yeah, it was hard at times. What we did was we tried to kind of see what we were going to eat each night and whether or not Jamie could have certain things. So it was kind of coordinating. Example, like if we had spaghetti, Jamie could only have the noodles and the sauce, no kind of hamburger or meat in with the sauce. So we kind of had to watch meals, and at the same time we coordinated a lot, and that's just that became our normal growing up.
Yeah. And so then, Jamie, from what I understand, you were living with this from into your adult life, and then in August 2023, things started to kind of take a turn, right?
Yeah, they did. And maybe a month or two before that, I had told my family and my daughters and my husband, and my mother was here at the time, and I could start feeling things going on, and I couldn't explain it. I'd go and I'd be talking, and then all of a sudden I would lose my train of thought, or it might come maybe 2 minutes down the line, in conversation, and I'll be like, oh yeah. So I mean, it was really hard to kind of figure out what to say. So I told the family one night at dinner, I said, something's going on. I don't know what it is, but I don't like it so far. Well, then August came, and I had gone for just a checkup with my primary doctor, and I asked him about my nails, and I said, can I now finally, can we take care of this? Because I've had some issues with my toes before. So, he goes, well, let's sit here and take a test on your liver and see how it's doing, and we'll go from there. Well, it came back a day later, and the office called me and told me that I indeed had liver disease. So, and then from there, it just kind of progressed, So.
And so with the option basically being you could either wait for a deceased donor or try to find a match. And so Vicki, when she started to talk to you about potentially exploring being a donor, what was that like both logistically and emotionally?
Well, first of all, the doctors told her that was her only option, was a transplant. There was no other options. They had tried everything that they could, and that was the only option left. And I remember one day I was at work, and Jamie and I were talking on the phone, and she had asked me, she said, would you consider being a live liver donor? And I was like, oh, wow. I said, yeah, but I don't even know my blood type, my own blood type. So, that has a lot to do with it right there. Yeah. So I had reached out to my provider and just sent them like a my chart and was like, hey, I'm considering, doing this for my sister, of being a liver donor. I need to know what my blood type is. And not even a half an hour later, they reached back out on my chart and said that you're A positive. And I had called Jamie right away because that's the one that she needed. And I said, you're never going to believe this, but I'm A positive. And we were just ecstatic from that moment on, like I was already a match.
Wow. So then the surgery happened at the end of May, and obviously you're both on the phone with me, so it was a success. And what has life been like for you, Jamie, since the transplant?
It's been up and down. I obviously have more issues with it than Vicki does post-op. With her just being a donor, it was me. I'm starting anew, basically, with what I have from Vicki. But most of all, it's been good. The simple things that everyone sits and eats every day was like open to me for the first time. And what was crazy is the next day after I woke up from all the surgery the first time, and they said, can we get you something to eat? And I said, I'll try cereal with milk. And they brought it. It was the best cereal I've ever had.
Yeah, because Jamie, her whole life hasn't been able to have milk, so that was like a treat to her. So cereal with milk.
What is your favorite food now that you like? What has been like the most delicious thing? You're like, oh, this is what that tastes like?
Yeah. Pizza.
Okay.
I have to say pizza. Yeah, and then steak. Steak is up there.
Steak, yep.
Yeah, anything with ice cream.
Yeah, also good choice. Good choice.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this was I love this story. I love your love for each other, and obviously the unbelievable success that we've had as far as being able to do this with modern technology. Having a living liver transplant is truly remarkable. And so thank you so much for joining us today, ladies.
Yes, thank you for having us today.
Absolutely. Merry Christmas and happy holidays. Oh, they're gone. All right. That was Jamie Marshall and Vicki Ness, two sisters who gave the gift of health to her sister Jamie by doing a living liver transplant at the UW Health Transplant Center earlier this year. All right. We'll take a break and then we'll wrap things up on Festivus.
David Nason here, your trusted Fix-It Show guy, here to give you some essential home maintenance advice. If you're dealing with leaks, stains, cracks in your basement, it's time to call the experts I trust at Accurate Basement Repair. They've fixed many of our listeners' basements, and the results were fantastic. Dry, secure, and peace of mind restored. Don't let basement issues mess up your home. Trust Accurate Basement Repair to get the job done right. Call them today.
Thanks, David. Accurate Basement Repair. We're not just good, we're accurate.
Ready for a win? Well, it's your year. At Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee, you could win over $2,000 in free play every month all year long. Just play your favorite games and you might take the stage in the It's Your Year game show. 25 winners each Thursday. There's $300,000 in cash and prizes up for grabs this January. Yeah, we think it's your year. More info at paysbig.com. Must be 21 years old to play.
Whether you get pulled over or get into a crash, drinking and driving will change your whole world. Drive sober or get pulled over. Paid for by NHTSA.
Find furniture for life from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies candidates with the right skills, sends you great matches, then you can easily invite them to apply. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. See for yourself. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Okay, close your mouth and take a deep breath in through your nose. So the way it's supposed to be is that you should be able to breathe easily. You shouldn't feel constrained. What it should feel like is air briskly flowing freely through both nasal passages, day and night. And if not, there's a problem. And it's a don't know what your problem really was until you got it fixed kind of problem. You're living with it. I mean, you're tired a lot. It might give you headaches and sinus pressure, but you're living with it. Yeah, you sound like almost every patient we help until we get their problem fixed. And then you hear them saying, why would I put up with that? Advent will get you breathing freely again with simple in-office solutions like turbinate reduction along with balloon sinuplasty that really can change your life.
To date, Advent has solved over 40,000 breathing triangle problems. Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. Results may vary.
I believe it's time for me to fly.
Indeed, it is time. Well, about a couple more minutes, but time to wrap up before Wisconsin's afternoon news gets going for an hour before they get a short show today due to Packers pregame, all the sports things. But I did want to add, since we started the show with Festivus. I wanted, and someone did text in, but I was always going to tell this story, which I had already moved at this point. But people may remember back in 2005, Governor Doyle indeed displayed an aluminum pole in the executive residence in Madison that holiday season. So he, at that point, it had been less than 10 years since the Festivus Seinfeld episode had aired. And so he, I guess, got in the spirit and put the pole was from the Wagner companies, and which was part of it from Milwaukee. And I guess the reason he didn't do it again was because the next year was when Michael Richards, aka Kramer, had his the first cancel moment. I think any of us can probably remember. It was when someone had filmed him during his stand-up comedy performance that was uncouth, to say the least. But the next year, Governor Doyle decided that he would not celebrate Festivus because of his disappointment with that event, and instead donated the pole to the Wisconsin Historical Society. So the Wisconsin Historical Society still has the one and only aluminum pole to ever be on display for Festivus in the governor's mansion in Madison. So it lives on in one way, but there you go. So even at that point, the governor embraced the airing of grievances. So if you have any more airing of grievances, shoot me a text, 855-616-1620. I won't get to read them on air because we got to wrap up, but I hope you get that out of your system and then can enjoy the holiday. Like we said before, we will have a great show for you tomorrow. So even if you can't listen to it live, check out Spanning the State on our podcast at WTMJ.com and give that a listen. But for now, Wisconsin's Afternoon News is next.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano with the perfect holiday gift, a new garage door. Lifetime Door Company transformed the look of my family's home with a beautiful made-in-America garage door. You never realize how much your home's curb appeal depends on that huge space. Lifetime Door Company's experts help you choose the